Thank you very much. I'm honored. I'm deeply honored. I'm very, very happy to be here and to have been asked to induct Crosby, Stills, and Nash into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This is a fine, fine thing. You know, I heard about this supergroup before I actually heard the music, and I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to hear. I've been so profoundly influenced and impacted by the Hollies and by the Byrds and especially Buffalo Springfield that I couldn't wait to hear what they were going to come up with, and I was amazed. I was blown away. I think that personally they helped me identify myself as a singer and a songwriter and a performer. I've always thought of them as having invented themselves, really, not particularly coming out of any mold, but just basically winging it. And I think they helped an entire generation define itself too. And I think of myself as being part of that same batch that they came out of. So this is especially meaningful for me. It's a wonderful thing for me to be able to install them here tonight in the Hall of Fame. CSN is a working band. They worked night before last. They're probably working tomorrow night. But for our purposes, it's probably best for us to think of them sort of historically and what they meant to us when they first sort of came out of the box. They were very. The content of their music was very socially relevant and very in tune with the times and very helpful to a nation and a generation that were trying to navigate themselves through a very confusing time. And songs like Woodstock and Kent State, great things. But you know, fundamentally it was about the music, and they took those what had been started in those three individual groups that they came from and took it to yet another place. They took it forward. The harmonies were so they were the quintessential vocal group. They were so complex and so sophisticated. It was such a great thing, and yet so soulful. You know, so great. And if I could have been a fly on the wall that night in 1968 when Graham Nash sat down in Laurel Canyon with Stephen and David and they sang together for the first time, that must have been an amazing thing. I'm sure they blew their own minds there. It's an amazing thing. But anyway, yeah, I mean, with a nod towards Graham Nash, this is a great American group, and it's really entirely fitting that they be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's the right thing. That's a good thing, and it helps continue to raise the level of the whole enterprise, as far as I'm concerned. That's a great thing. So I just like to say, I'd just like to install them now. I'd like to bring them on in. You got to line them up a little bit here. We're going to put them in and come on, Crosby. Okay, in they go. They're in. Ladies and gentlemen, Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
On the precious place.